Es ist dem Feind gelungen, die Front in breiter Formation zu durchbrechen. Im Süden hat der Gegner Zossen genommen und stößt auf Stahnsdorf vor. Der Feind operiert jetzt am nördlichen Stadtrand zwischen Frohnau und Pankow. Und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg-Marsdorf-Karlshorst gelangt.
Mit dem Angriff Steiners wird das alles in Ordnung kommen.
Mein Führer, Steiner
konnte nicht genügend Kräfte für einen Angriff massieren. Der Angriff Steiner ist nicht erfolgt.
Es bleiben im Raum Keitel, Jodl, Krebs und Burgdorf. Das war ein Befehl! Der Angriff Steiners war ein Befehl! Wer sind Sie, dass Sie es wagen, sich meinen Befehl zu widersetzen? So weit ist das also gekommen. Das Militär hat mich belogen! Jeder hat mich belogen, sogar die SS! Die gesamte Generalität ist nichts weiter als ein Haufen niederträchtiger, treuloser Feiglinge!
Mein Führer, ich kann nicht zulassen, dass die Soldaten, die für Sie verbringen...
Nicht als Feiglinge! Verreiter, Versager!
Mein Führer, was Sie da sagen, ist ungeheuerlich!
Die Generalität ist das Geschmeiß des deutschen Volkes! Sie ist ohne Ehre! Sie nennen sich Generale, weil Sie Jahre auf Militärakademien zugebracht haben, nur um zu lernen, wie man Messer und Gabel hält! Jahrelang hat das Militär meine Aktionen nur behindert. Es hat mir jeden nur ersichtlichen Widerstand in den Weg gelegt. Ich hätte gut daran getan, von Jahren alle höheren Offiziere liquidieren zu lassen, wie Stalin. Ich war nie auf einer Akademie. Und doch habe ich allein auf mich gestellt, ganz Europa erobert. Verräter! Von allem Anfang an bin ich so verraten und betrogen worden. Es wurde ein ungeheurer Verrat geübt am deutschen Volke. Aber alle diese Verräter werden bezahlen. Mit ihrem eigenen Blut werden sie bezahlen. Sie werden es saufen in ihrem eigenen Blut.
Bitte gerne. Jetzt beruhig dich doch.
Meine Befehle sind in den Wind gesprochen. Es ist unmöglich, unter diesen Umständen zu führen. Es ist aus. Der Krieg ist verloren. Aber wenn Sie, meine Herren, glauben, dass ich deswegen Berlin verlasse, irren Sie sich gewaltig. Eher jage ich mir eine Kugel durch den Kopf. Tun Sie, was Sie wollen.
1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Grenadier, 5, 6, alte Keks, 7, 8, gute Nacht. 1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Grenadier, 1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Grenadier, 5, 6, alte Keks, 7, 8, gute Nacht. 1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Grenadier, 5, 6, alte Keks, 7, 8, gute Nacht.
What's happening, everybody? Back again with a very fun and hopefully an interesting video here today. And this is going to be on the HK UMP 45. And this gun here in front of us is technically an Omega Gideon Shadow 45 is the official name for this thing. It is a UMP clone, and that is because, unfortunately, HK still does not import the UMP in any type of a civilian legal pistol format. They do carry the USC carbine, and because it's a carbine and because no pistol format exists, most people that have tried to do what they can with the USC to convert it over to a UMP have had to do so with an SBR format. So they've had to pay their tax stamp, do all the paperwork, wait all that time, and yada, yada, yada. When now we've got a couple of companies, thankfully, that are creating the clones, and they're very, very good clones. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but it's Omega that makes one of the clones, and that, again, is the Gideon Shadow 45. The other company that makes them is Tommy Built Tactical. So the Tommy Built TMP 45 is the other variant. Typically, they come with either no brace or they come with a SB Tactical brace. In this case, I've got the TMP brace that's on here. You guys know, if you've seen my other videos, that I love these braces. I got a couple of them lying around, and they come in handy, especially when we're talking about putting together a nice look for a PCC, especially if it's a European PCC, because this is that iconic European type of stock look to this brace that they have available for the BNTs, the UMPs, because all it is really, it's just this part right here. This hinge is pretty much universal on a lot of these European subguns. So all you really have to do is, if it already comes with a SB Tactical brace or whatnot, all you got to do is remove that screw up there. You can buy this TMP brace from Tommy Built's website. I think they're back ordered right now, but still, you can call them up, put an order, notify yourself via email if and when they're back in stock. Pick them up in bulk if you can. Pick up at least a couple, because I'm telling you, once you have one of them, it's easy to see why they're so popular, and they're always sold out. But they're awesome for these types of platforms, for the BNTs, for the MP5 variants, and so on and so forth. So obviously this UMP 45 is an iconic gun. Everybody recognizes this thing from movies and from TV shows, from video games, and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, the new Call of Duty has a gun that's kind of controversial as to whether or not it's this gun or if it's the SMG 45, and they call it the Striker 45. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and put this right up here so we can kind of compare and contrast at the same time. So there's the SMG 45, and those of you guys that have seen my previous videos on this know that I had a lot of high remarks on this thing. I still feel it's the best PCC in the game right now. I don't care what the heck Grand Thumb was talking about with his point of impact shifts and whatnot, but I have had no problems with this thing. This thing has been super accurate, super soft shooting. It's just been a joy. But with that being said, why did I get this thing then? Well, I got this thing because it was a damn good deal and I couldn't pass it up. So they were selling these on Gunbroker as a kit without the brace. It was just, the pistol, but it had everything. So it had one magazine, your completed lower, your completed upper, your bolt, and your recoil spring. So everything really needed to put it together. They came separated for whatever reason. So the complete lower was already one piece in the box. The magazine was one piece. The entire upper was one piece with the barrel already installed and all the rails and everything. And then the bolt and the spring were separated. So it kind of came as a put it together yourself kit, which took like a minute because it's literally just like they kind of field stripped it for you and they're asking you to put it back together. I don't know why they packaged it like that, but it was nice and neat enough. And it was, like I said, a minute to put it together. But it was $14.50 on Gunbroker. And that's out the door. That was with shipping and everything included. That was freaking a deal I could not pass up because it's a great gun. It's just got a timeless look. It's super lightweight. It's very reliable. And why the heck not for that kind of money, where this thing is more than double the cost. So not to say that, you know, it's really of any comparison the way that they shoot and, you know, the way that they're built and stuff like that. The LWRC is obviously a superior gun when it comes to that. The build quality is way better. The actual engineering in the recoil reduction and the way that they've been able to manage that with the moving barrel and, you know, and whatever else they've incorporated into this thing, it definitely makes it the superior gun. However, again, that comes at more than double the cost. So for the money, this thing looks amazing in a collection. It is fun to shoot. Like I said, it's very reliable. You'll never have to worry about this thing malfunctioning. It's very simple, and it's just sexy, you know? So let's talk about just kind of what makes the UMP special, all right? Besides the look. So the UMP was supposed to be the gun that replaced the MP5. Now, what happened was the MP5, they had some caliber change kits that they made available for it, taking it from a 9mm to a 40, and I believe they even had a 10mm. But, you know, there were certain, you know, military and law enforcement agencies that were saying that, you know, the 9 was just not enough. There were reliability issues with the 40 and with the 10. So they wanted to get a bigger caliber that was more of a man stopper, but they wanted a new platform to shoot it out of because the stamped steel MP5 was limited to how big of a caliber you could fit in there because they had to re-engineer the whole thing if they wanted to fit something like a 45 into it. So in comes the UMP. Now the UMP, the obvious differences were that this thing is completely made of polymer. So this is all glass reinforced polymer. I mean, everything on this gun is polymer except for your bolt, you know, your metal pieces within the lower and your barrel. I mean, everything else is plastic on here. Now, the pros of that is that it's very lightweight. And it's also very reliable because you don't have a lot of these tightly fitted, high, you know, or low, I should say low tolerance, you know, steel parts that they have to be perfectly slotted together in order for the gun to function correctly. With plastic, you've got enough bend and flex to where, you know, even if something's not sitting 100% streamlined, let's just say, it can still manage to work. Those were basically the pros. The cons were that it's because it's so light and because it's a very simple blowback system with a really big bolt. So this bolt, you're only seeing this little bit of it right here, but the bolt is like that. I mean, it's chunky, okay? It weighs, I mean, most of the weight of this gun really comes from that bolt, to be honest with you, the bolt and the barrel, okay? So it's front heavy, and that bolt, as it's riding back and forth, it creates a lot of recoil, and that recoil is not, how do I say this? It's not in line with your shoulder. It's not quite linear. It's just kind of all over the place. It feels like it recoils twice. It feels like it bounces when it shoots. It feels like as the bolt's coming back, it recoils back on you, and then as it shifts again forward, it's got enough weight coming forward to where it kind of bounces at the front end as well. So it's just kind of this dual type of recoil. Just hard to explain unless you've ever shot this thing. But most people that have shot this thing will tell you right up front that it is not the best shooting gun. Now, does that mean it's, you know, not fun to shoot? Absolutely not. It's a blast to shoot. It's very accurate too. That's another great thing about this platform. It's a super accurate gun. It's just a weird recoil impulse, and you definitely, coming from an MP5, I can promise you the reason why this did not get adopted into a lot of military and law enforcement is because after they came off of the MP5 into this thing, they were like, there's no way in hell that this is an improvement over what we just left behind. The MP5 shoots like butter. It shoots so smooth, so flat, that you'll think you're shooting a 22. It's ridiculous. Now, obviously, you've got a bigger caliber. You've got a harder hitting round out of this thing that is going to obviously incorporate more recoil. But it's like I said, there's recoil on the LWRC SMG 45 as well, but they've done enough in terms of the engineering where it's not a simple blowback system, and it works to mitigate that recoil enough so to where if they had gone from the MP5 to this thing, they would have been like, sign us up immediately, right? Because there's not that much of a difference in the recoil or the felt recoil on this gun versus the MP5, but it's night and day on this one. That's kind of where the UMP kind of fell off the map for a while, but it became really popular again, movies and video games, predominantly because just anything HK is always very popular. It's a really beautiful looking gun. That's another thing that you got to take into consideration is it's just such a nice looking gun. And it's iconic. I mean, I can't say that enough. I've probably said it more than I should at this point, but it's just got that look to it. It's the classic European SMG look. When they incorporated the Striker 45 into Call of Duty, a lot of people were like, that's a UMP. And they were like, no, that's an SMG 45. Well, the truth of the matter is the Striker 45 in Call of Duty is what would have happened had this gun and this gun made a baby. So it's really a perfect incorporation of both of these guns together. That makes the Striker 45. What I got to tell you about this thing, for those of you that are in the market that feel like, throwing away $1,500 for a gun that maybe is not going to be your finest in your collection, but it's going to be one that you definitely want to add. Because of all the other factors that I just explained, all you got to know is that reliability, 100%. Okay. Accuracy, 100%. Fun to shoot. Turns heads at the range. I mean, it hits just about every box, okay? When it comes to refinement and when it comes to recoil, that's kind of where this thing misses the mark a little bit, but it's not enough so to warrant passing this by, especially at a deal like that. Now, I don't know how many of these are available out there, but I know that Omega always sells these things. They have a website where you can go directly and try to order one from them. They did have a couple on Gunbroker last I checked, and it's definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money, and you'll never, ever regret that decision because this thing is just, it's a joy to shoot. It's really lightweight. It's definitely something that, if you have like a shit hits the fan scenario and you're going to be, locally, just kind of moving out and about, I should say, and you have to carry a gun, this is a nice, easy gun that you can carry all day long and barely notice that it's there. It's just really, really cool, man. Really cool. I just got a Vortex Crossfire red dot that's on top right here. The rails, like I said, they came from Omega with these rails, which is awesome because typically if you have to go buy the rails, the set of 4, so the top rail and the 3 that are on the handguard here, they go for right around $150 to $200 depending on where you get them from. It's a great deal. Again, you can't pass it up. Trigger on it, not the greatest, okay? It's a little spongy. It's got a pretty long amount of movement that's in there before it breaks. It doesn't break all that clean. The reset is nice. It's nice and audible and tactile, but nothing to write home about. There's not going to be anything fancy about this gun, except for the look of it, okay? If you want fancy, and if you want something that's more modern, and definitely more of a well thought out and well engineered gun, this is your platform right here. If you want something that's nearly the equivalent, and it's still going to look bad as fuck at the range, and it's something that you can definitely rely on, if you ever needed to use it for, real life use, I mean, this is it. This is like, you cannot beat this deal. With that being said, guys, I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of perspective as to the UMP platform, what makes it great, what makes it not so great, how it relates to the SMG 45, and then trying to put an end to the debate over what the Striker 45 in Call of Duty actually is between these two guns. So with that being said, guys, as always, Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to speed with all the new videos that are going to be coming out. And I will have, hopefully, I got my fingers crossed here, but I'm looking at my unicorn right now. It would be my Holy Grail gun. And hopefully I'll be able to share that with you guys here in the next couple weeks. So I'll keep you posted, guys. You keep me posted with your comments, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.